Hey guys, what's going on? We got another Enhancement Shaman PVP video, and this time we are in a solo shuffle, and we're at around 2500 MMR, somewhere around there. But yeah, so anyways, we got a Holy Paladin, myself, Enhance, Fire Mage, Shadow Priest, Ret Pally, Holy Priest. Um, it felt like the Holy Paladin was struggling, and I don't think it has anything to do with him. He played very, very well. I think it was just the matchup between him and the Holy Priest just didn't go so well. But anyways, in this section, we're going to be wanting to go after the Shadow Priest. And the reason why is because letting a Shadow Priest precast is a bit of a nightmare. But at the same time, I didn't realize it, but the Ret Pally was actually running Repentance. So I need to watch for that, and I should be kicking a lot more than I am, but I'm looking for Holy Priest cast rather than the Shadow Priest stuff, so it's probably on me that we lose some of these, but you know what? It is what it is. But anyways, you can see we're getting a whole lot. It's a nice hodge on the priest, so I'm gonna go line up for a hex right there. He didn't death it, so that's a full hex, but the priest is just seems to be just fine. Another option I probably should have went with was hexing the Rep Paladin, just because they are a bit of a nuisance and cause a significant amount of damage. Wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and hex them rather than hexing the healer, just to give us a bit more of an edge on the mana. But you can see between the healers that they have similar mana levels, so we are getting quite a lot of damage through. So here I go ahead and hex the paladin, just because I want to reduce a little bit of damage, so that way we can keep going for the long run. And then here I switch, I want to get my dots out, and then they completely blast me, which was crazy. They just absolutely almost annihilate me in less than a second. I did have wall, but I was like, holy crap, I'm just going to burrow. So I was not expecting them to quickly switch or do that much damage that fast. But the Rep Pally seems to be all over our Holy Paladin, which was a bit weird, but I guess it does kind of work, making sure that he can heal both. So here he gets bopped, so I'm spamming Purge so that way I can get it off. And the mage was spamming Spell Steal, but here they start to switch onto our Holy Paladin. And I didn't have anything to save him. I should have went over and lassoed maybe, or casted a hex on the Rep Paladin, or just kept a better eye on our Holy Paladin. Excuse me. But here we got Fire Mage Rep Pally. So our main focus is going to be the Fire Mage, but the priest said just keep an eye on the healer just in case, because we can make a swap anytime, or even the Rep Pally, because he's going to be constantly having his dots on everyone, right? So that makes it very difficult for a team to all be healthy at the same time. But you can see the Fire Mage is just doing a whole lot of damage, but they're also very, very squishy. And I play Fire Mage a little bit. I'm no expert in it though. But yeah, they do tend to fall over pretty quick because of their low HP pool. But they do a significant amount of damage. That is for sure. As you can see, we start blasting them, and just everybody's kind of rotting down at this point. The Holy Priest gets a nice stun on the Holy Paladin, and then that forces Bubble, which is really nice. So that means the Holy Paladin is now a target as well. So we want to keep an eye out for that. And here I get a bit low, but nothing too scary. The Holy Priest quickly tops me off, and I just pull back a little bit and lasso. Unfortunately, I couldn't get that rep because I got interrupted on nature, but thankfully, because I LOS'd, I wasn't too worried about getting killed. But the Rep Paladin shows that, yeah, he can take anybody out at any time he wants. But here the Paladin starts falling really low, and then we just take him out instead of going after the Fire Mage. So I think it was really good swaps. The priest was making really good calls, just doing swaps and stuff like that. So, and similar thing here, we just want to go for the Fire Mage. I want to try and interrupt the Shadow Priest because the Fire Mage isn't going to cast. The only thing he's going to cast is Polymorph, and that is really rare. I think he's more focused on getting damage out on us. The priest is doing a great job CCing their healer. As you can see, we get both of them fairly low, getting a lot of start game pressure. I see the priest going in for the fear, so I go ahead and drop Tremor just to make sure our priest is free and able to cast on us while all this damage is going through. But yeah, you can just see, like, they're taking a lot of damage. This Rep Paladin is just doing so much damage, it's crazy. There's Cauterize, so that's really good right there. So he only has Ice Block left. It's a nice Hodge onto the Paladin there, and he forces Bubble, and there's the Ice Block as well. So that's a huge overlap. So I just go ahead and LOS for a second, just trying to wait for them to gather themselves a little bit so I can get back out there and not worry too much. There I went for a Hex on the Priest, but got interrupted by the Mage. And interestingly enough, they went for a Rep on me. Not too sure why, but yeah. And then here we get a lot of pressure. There's the life swap at 1%. It was quite amazing, but it doesn't quite matter because we just have that much damage, and the Priest got a nice double fear. It's crazy. But yeah, this game was kind of insane. Everybody played very, very well. I can't really badmouth anybody at all because, you know, they're all doing well. It's just unfortunate events. I think the Holy Paladin was just at a disadvantage. That's all. He's playing very, very well. There, I should have been able to get that poly, but it didn't seem to me like it was too urgent. I definitely should have dropped grounding already, but I went ahead and lassoed the Holy Priest for no reason. It was a bit of a waste. I should have lassoed the Mage or dropped grounding or something to reduce damage going out, but thankfully the Priest didn't take too much damage right there. But here, the Mage trinketed something. I think it was one of the Priest spells, maybe a stun or a silence. But yeah, I'm just kind of chase him down as much as possible, get a huge amount of damage, go for a Hex on the Priest. He has to spend his trinket there. I don't believe this Mage was running Decurse at all, but you know, some do, some don't. I always make sure to have Decurse because you never know. But yeah, you can just see the Holy Paladin gets a nice rep. I make sure to interrupt that rep that was going out on him so that way he doesn't get repped. I go ahead and lasso the ret, stopping a little damage again, allowing the Priest to get a bit of health back, allowing the Holy Paladin to stabilize, and I was also waiting out the Frost Ring. So here the Mage is kind of jumping me around, but I'm still able to connect. There's the Symbol of Hope. So here I get a huge burst. He gets down to 1% again, man. This guy gets down to 1% so many times, it's insane. It's actually insane. And then there's the Ice Block. I get a Hex on the Holy Priest, so he can't quite get it. And there's the MD from the Shadow Priest. A nice kick from the Holy Paladin, and he's here helping me beat up the Fire Mage. Fire Mage is running. The Rep Paladin pushes in, and I was kind of like, okay, but here I'm getting set up to CC the Priest. Nice lasso. Get a Primordial, setting up for a burst. Shifting. Go for the Hex. Get the Hex. We get a huge amount of damage. Big Ellie Blast. Frost Shock. There's Cauterize. We just get so much damage, and thankfully he goes down. Oh man, I would be so like mind blast that he would survive one more thing. Would have been crazy. But now we are the Mage and Shaman versus the Ret Shadow. This was a bit of a tough one, because Fire Mage and Enhance don't quite mesh together. But I'm being careful because our Priest is CC'd, like our healer, but it doesn't quite matter. They're all stacking, which is huge for the Fire Mage, and the poor Holy Paladin just falls over. I don't think he was really expecting all that damage onto him, but it's a bit unfortunate on his part, but it was kind of crazy because I made the call during the thing, do we just want to try hitting the Holy Paladin? And sure enough, it worked out. But here it's me, the Ret, and the Holy Paladin. We get a huge amount of damage here, right in the opener on this Mage. Like, just so much. But this Holy Paladin's constantly dispelling my Flame Shock, so I'm getting a bit annoyed. But, so I have to keep making sure I reapply it, stuff like that. And I didn't notice that the Shadow Priest has actually been running Siphene, so that's one thing I wasn't paying attention for. And I think it may have costed us some things, but, you know, you win some, you lose some. So you can see there I went for a Hex, but nothing came of it, unfortunately. The Fire Mage is running. So I'm going for a Hex on the Shadow Priest, just stopping a bit of damage, right? Always important to stop damage. He comes in for a Fear, but nothing happens of it. I don't even think he used it. There's the Hodge on our Priest. And then we get a huge amount. Just chasing mages is definitely frustrating, that's for sure. As you can see, we're just whittling down a little bit. The Paladin's trying to keep up, but unfortunately, he just can't quite get us. I LOS a little bit, get some heals up, trying to heal myself, trying not to die. I miss the kick on the Shadow, and then I get the Hex on the Holy. Unfortunately, I think he broke it with a death, and there's the ice block. Quickly breaks it, but we don't have anything really left. No externals or anything like that. So we're basically just full charge forward. Let's get this guy already, essentially. But yeah, you can see there's the altar. So I'm getting ready to spam purge. He runs away from me. At this point, I should have just swapped. I should have just swapped to the priest, but I ended up chasing the mage a bit more. Would have been better just to swap to the priest. But you can see here we start getting them. Huge amount of damage going out on this mage. Quickly, burstly. He gets PI. I'm not too worried about it. I have grounding ready. I should have dropped grounding. There it is. And I should lasso here. It should have been a lasso here. But there's the Psyfiend. I did not even recognize that it's a Psyfiend because he has so many doodles out, which sucked. But here I lasso the Shadow Priest just to stop damage again. It should have been on the Fire Mage, but unfortunately it wasn't. Here I should have knocked the Priest away. I should have just knocked him. Like, get out of here. But unfortunately not. Trying to purge off his altar so that way I can hit him with some big damage. And there it goes. So now I start sending it. Huge damage. He goes ahead and shadow melts. But I think at this point we were like, oh crap, we're so low. We got nothing left. We're just about to go. The Rapallion, he falls over. But yeah, that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Let us.